going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am just sitting down and having a little chat with you guys about some things that I have planned and some things that I've really been thinking about coming into a brand new year. I have my coffee ready. Mom, my most favorite title. I'm just gonna sit down and talk to you guys about some of the things that I have planned for this year. I did not want this video to be super formal. I did not feel like getting completely ready. I did not wait for my kids to be, laid down at night. The little one is napping and the oldest one is in her room watching TV, and I just figured that I would sit down and talk to you guys. It is only January 4th, and so I knew that I needed to do this video this week and post it this week. Just in case you guys have not started making goals for yourself for the new year, or maybe you're not sure what kind of goals to make for yourself, I thought that maybe this video could help you out. I'm sure that you and I have similar likes and dislikes and goals. As a mom and as a wife, you have certain goals that are just like, duh, like that's my goal. You want to be a better wife, you want to be a better mother. That is like a given. For this video in particular, I really wanted to direct this video more as a personal goal type of video. The goals that I'm going to be sharing with you guys that I made for myself for 2020 are just that, for myself. I did not make goals for my kids. I did not make goals for things I want to do around the house. I did not make goals for things I want to do outside the house. Basically every goal that I made this year was for me. I know that sounds a little crazy because I'm usually not the type of person that is like, oh, I'm me. But for 2020, I just figured, I've spent the past 6 years putting everybody and everything before myself, and which is good. That's good to put others before yourself. But it's not okay if you are putting people above yourself and doing things for others and putting yourself completely last to the point to where you feel like I did. So I'm jumping into this video super fast. I need to slow down. If you guys are new here, thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and like. This is going to be a new little series on my channel that I'm starting in 2020, and it's called Coffee Chats. And basically, I'm going to drink some coffee, you can drink some coffee, and I'm just going to sit here and talk to you guys about some changes, positive changes that I will be making, positive things that I will be doing, just to give you guys some inspiration and maybe some motivation to get some things done yourself. So yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss any more of my coffee chats, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know that instead of making New Year's resolutions this year, I basically came up with 5 words that I wanted to incorporate for myself into the new year. These 5 words are words that I really want to try to keep in the back of my brain as the days go on, as the weeks go on, as the months go on, whenever I get burnt out. Because let's be real, burnout happens. As a mom and as a wife, you're like, God, I just need a minute to myself. I need a minute without the kids. I need a minute without my husband. I need him to go away. I mean, that's real life. I need him to go and I need me time. And of course, as a mom, when your kids do give you a minute, you're like, oh, I miss them. But then they're with you again and you're like, go away. So the first word that I'm incorporating into 2020 is the word embrace. For some reason, since I had my youngest, Ansley, I had really bad postpartum with her for about a month and a half after I had her. And so I felt like I couldn't control anything that was going on in my life. I felt like I couldn't get a grasp on reality again. I was very sad all the time. The only thing that calmed my nerves and calmed my anxiety in my postpartum was organization and cleaning. And she will be 3 in July, and I still have kind of carried that trait on to the later part of her life. For some reason, I get very anxious when my house is not clean like I want it to be. I get very anxious when my house is not organized. I get very anxious when things are not put a certain way. Just a little insight, my closet, well, Nathan and I's closet, if we take clothes off of the hanger and the empty hanger is not put where the empty hangers go, it makes me like sweat, and I get very anxious whenever things are not completely like organized to like a scary point. So that is why I came up with the word embrace for 2020. I pretty much want to try to calm my nerves, not to let my house get completely destroyed, because by no means is my house completely clean all the time. It's more so an organized thing rather than like a clean thing. Like there's a difference between organizing and cleaning. And I don't mind some aspects of cleaning, but I love organizing. It helps de-stress. It's very therapeutic for me. I love organizing things and putting things in specific places where they need to go. I love color coordinating. I love organizing. So by no means do I think my house is going to be completely spotless in 2020. That's just not going to happen. I have 2 kids and I don't really like to clean a lot, but I want to start embracing more of the things that I get anxious about. Not so much embracing the dirtiness or embracing the mess, but just embracing the moment. I get really stressed out when there's a huge sink full of dishes like there is right now. But I am trying to bring myself to the point where it doesn't make me anxious to see a sink full of dishes. I look at it and I go, okay, I need to do the dishes. Whereas right now I see a sink full of dishes and something like my stomach starts hurting and I get really nervous and I have a very, very bad anxiety when it comes to cleaning and organizing. And so that is my first word for 2020. And like I said, these words are for me personally. If you guys struggle with the same things that I'm talking about, then by all means, leave me a comment down below and let me know which one of these that you're going to try to incorporate into 2020. And if I know you personally, I will check up on you because I'm that type of friend. The second word that I am trying to incorporate in 2020 is the word serve. I am a very humble person when it comes to serving others. I do not really care for recognition for it, but I love to do it. I love to serve other people. I love to celebrate other people, but I don't really care for others to celebrate me, if that makes sense. Like my birthday, I just want it to like slip on by, but other people's birthdays, like I'm like cake and balloons type of girl. I love to celebrate my friends. I love to celebrate the people that I'm around, but I feel like there are other ways. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you've already seen my post about serving my husband. I am very, very serious when it comes to serving my husband and knowing his likes and dislikes and wants and needs. I know Nathan's love languages, and I talked about that on my Instagram post. I know Nathan's love languages, and I know that one of his love languages is acts of service. And so I try to, on Fridays and Saturday mornings, I make him breakfast and bring it to him in bed. That is not a bragging moment or me trying to brag saying, oh, I bring my husband breakfast in bed. It is just, that is how I know that he knows that I appreciate him. And so I continue to do that. But I have recently found out that if you chase after reasons to serve or how you can serve other people, then it's endless. I know there are certain things that my husband does in the mornings that I could help him with because I know he's rushing. And so those are things that I have really thought, okay, I'm going to start doing those things for him, even if it just saves him 5 minutes. I myself, because I'm going to stay home all day on Fridays and Saturdays, I don't work on Fridays and Saturdays, that I'm going to do those things for him to make his morning easier, because I know if he did those things for me, I would just be blown away. So like this morning, he left his coffee cup in his patrol car. And so instead of him going out, getting dressed, going outside, getting it, washing it, and, you know, putting it under the Keurig, while he was still in bed, I got his keys, I went outside, I got his coffee cup, came in, washed it, and put it under the Keurig. And all he had to do was press the button. And so just little bitty things like that, like and I don't want to seem like I'm like telling you what to do, but in my mind, the way that it came to me, it was like an epiphany. Like I was like, okay, I can sit here and just like do the obvious things for my husband, like cook him dinner and do his laundry and fold his underwear and do all this. I said, or I could chase after those things and find new ways to love him, find new ways to serve him. I know that his love language is acts of service. I know what to look for and how to serve him. So that is another thing that I'm going to be doing in 2020, is just finding new ways to serve people, not just celebrating them, not just buying a cake, but making their life easier. And because that brings me joy. I don't do it for them, for the thank you. I don't do it for them to say, tell other people, Rachel did this for me. I do it because it makes me happy knowing that I am able to help somebody else and I am able to make somebody else's load a whole lot lighter. So the third word that I'm incorporating into 2020 is the word presence. This has been talked about a whole bunch on social media, and whenever I was making my list of words that I really wanted to incorporate for myself, I really honestly just thought about myself. What are some things that I struggle with or that I do that I shouldn't be doing? And one of them is the word presence. I am guilty of being on my phone too much when my kids are awake. Sorry for this sun glare. I'm trying to do this with natural lighting. I make the choice to be on my phone when my kids are up. I make the choice to be looking at my phone when my daughter's talking to me. These things should not be happening. These things are basically teaching Kara, because she's my oldest, she's the only one that really understands, teaching her that whatever's on my phone is more important than what she has to say to me, which is absolutely not true and should not be true for any parent ever. Whenever I wrote down the word presence for 2020, I knew that this wasn't something that was going to come very easy to me, because I'm so used to being on my phone and being on social media. It's no secret that I enjoy being on social media. I enjoy posting pictures of my kids. I enjoy posting videos for you guys, which is a whole nother story I'll talk to you guys about at the end. But I enjoy being on my phone. But I guess the point of me saying the word presence is I need to learn when it's appropriate to be on my phone and when it's not appropriate to be on my phone. Am I on my phone for productive reasons and at the right time, or am I on my phone just scrolling through Facebook, liking people's stuff? The word presence means lots of things, whether it be your phone, whether it be, thinking of things throughout the day. Like, I'm really bad about playing a game with Kara, but constantly thinking about all the other things that I could be getting done while I'm with her. Basically, in 2020, I'm going to try to train my brain to be present in the moment that I'm in. My kids are not going to be here forever. You don't know if your spouse is going to be here forever, especially in Nathan's line of work. I don't want any regrets. I don't want to sit here and say, oh man, I wish I would have been paying attention to them. I wish I would have been giving them 100%. And so I think that's where presence is playing a huge role in my life right now. That's good coffee. This is pumpkin spice coffee with vanilla creamer, and it's good. So the fourth word that I'm incorporating into 2020 is the word unfiltered. And whenever I was getting ready to film this video, I contemplated whether or not I wanted to put on makeup or not. I contemplated on whether or not I wanted to completely fix my hair and get completely ready. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I am very, very guilty of editing like pictures of myself, like selfies I take of this dark under my eyes. Some days it is really bad and some days it is not that bad. I'm really bad at editing out my freckles because sometimes they drive me crazy. Just little bitty things here and there I will do to my face and my pictures to make me feel better about posting that picture. I have been saying a lot here recently that if I ever went missing, my family would have a horribly hard time trying to find a picture to show to everyone to try to find me, because a lot of my pictures are edited and filtered, and I just, for some reason, I have just felt really bad about that lately. Like, I feel like social media is only going to get worse, and I don't want my girls taking pictures of themselves and feeling like they have to edit their faces, and I don't want them seeing pictures of me knowing that I edited my face and did things to my face to make me feel and look better. Sure, there will be my preset filters on my pictures, but I am not editing under my eyes. I'm not editing my hair. I'm not editing my face. I'm not editing my lips. I'm not editing my anything. All my pictures will have my preset, I'm sure, but I'm not editing my freckles or anything. This is what you're gonna get. The last word that I am incorporating into 2020 is the word forgiveness. Now, I saved this one for last on my Instagram when I was making the post about my words, and I'm saving it last for now because I feel like I'm gonna talk about it for a minute. I chose this word because there are many, many things that have happened in my life that I have had to learn to forgive. This light is literally driving me crazy. Okay, I shifted myself so that it's off my face. It's on my shirt, but it's fine. I chose this word for my last word because a lot has happened in my life where I have had to completely forgive and heal and let go. Things that have happened in my past and people who have hurt me. And I feel like that is a huge, huge part of growing as an individual and growing as a mom and as a wife and as a friend. Speaking from experience, it is extremely hard to love yourself, love your kids, love your husband, and love your friends if you are still hanging on to pain and fear and unforgiveness and resentment from people who have hurt you a long time ago. I shared with you guys on my Instagram that my real dad left when I was 2. I would think I was like 18 months old. I think I've talked to him maybe once or twice since then. I have tried, since being an adult, I have tried to contact him and just talk, try to work, not have a relationship with him, but just talk to him and just be like, look, I'm not mad at you. And I just wanted to pretty much just kind of like close that door. I tried to add him on Facebook several times and he has since blocked me to where I cannot have any contact with him at all. That is one relationship that I had to just let go of, because I had to sit in bed one night and I was just like, you know what? My mom remarried when I was super young. I was still only like 3 or 4, I think. No, they got together when I was super young. I think I was 6 when they got married. And he has been my dad my entire life. And so it's not like I lack a father figure, because I have the best father figure, but it doesn't matter who you put in a little girl's life. She's constantly thinking about her daddy or her dad, my biological father. That has always been just kind of in the back of my mind, like, why did that happen, And so last year, for some reason, 2019 was the year where I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I have a husband who is a great dad to my girls, and that's just not hurt that is worth it anymore. And that is like super huge. You have to realize that some hurt's just not worth it. If you are trying to have a relationship with somebody, or you're trying to mend something, or you're trying to close a door, and they're not reciprocating that, they're not wanting that, then just let it go. That advice is not for everyone. That is advice in my situation. The other thing that I talked about on my social media was that I was sexually abused when I was younger, which is something a little bit more, you have to tiptoe around that one because people get real triggered by something like that. I was sexually abused by my mother's stepdad for years when I was younger. I cannot tell you exactly when it started, but I can tell you that it was years. And he finally went to prison when I was either 12 or 14. I can't remember exactly. So that incident itself, I've really had to work through. That incident was obviously way worse than my biological father incident. When I got married, it hindered my marriage for a while. When I had kids, it's still to this day, which you have to be protective over your kids anyways, especially now in 2020. I mean, crazy things are happening. Kids are going missing left and right. But I feel like because of the thing that happened with my mother's stepfather, I am even more so protective over my children, especially because I have 2 girls. So because of what happened to me, I make sure that I know where my kids are at all times. I don't let my kids just go off with anybody. I don't let them stay alone with certain people, not because I think that those people would ever do anything, but because for my peace of mind, knowing that I have done everything that I could possibly do to protect my kids, I have to do what I have to do. And if that hurts your feelings, that hurts your feelings, but I am responsible for them, and I constantly think, if I let them go with somebody, or if I let them, hang out with this person and something happens to them, that's my choice that I made for them. And I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And so at this point in my life with my kids, because I do have 2 young daughters, if I hurt your feelings by saying I'd rather them not go with you, then you're just choosing to have your feelings hurt. Knowing the background of myself and knowing what I went through, I will do whatever I can to protect my kids. And if somebody ever were to touch my kids, I would not be sitting in a house right now. I'd be in prison, because I would, can I say that on here? Those are my words that I am going to be incorporating into 2020. I hope that I gave you guys some inspiration and some motivation to, just work on yourself. I think that, like I said in the beginning of the video, I love serving others and I love putting others before myself. But I got to the point in 2019 where I was very run down. I was very burnt out. I let myself go health-wise. I let myself go mentally. I felt crazy. I cannot tell you how many times I looked at Nathan and I was like, I feel nuts. Like, I feel crazy. Nothing makes sense. Everything is in disarray. My house is a mess. I feel like my kids aren't listening. And it was like, I didn't even care. Like, in my mind, I was just like, I don't even care. But I can say the past 3 weeks, it wasn't even like, it didn't even start like January 1st. I magically, you know, became happy again. You know, it started probably right before Christmas. I woke up one morning and I was like, man, I feel like good. I feel good. And I haven't felt like super, like truly happy in a while. Not that I should be super, super happy, but I just, whenever I wake up in the mornings, I'm just like, oh, I have to start all the way over with bath time and feeding and diapers and, you know, and so, but for some reason, and I've been praying all throughout 2019 that, you know, something would change. My mindset would change. My heart would change. I would get the energy that I had back to take care of myself, because it is very, very hard to take care of your kids whenever you aren't taking care of yourself. So about 3 weeks ago, I was in the car and I was driving and I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I feel good. I feel happy. I feel energized. Like, what is this? So anyways, and I still feel that way to this day. It's been about 3 weeks now and I've just been feeling really, really good. I'm hoping that this feeling doesn't leave me. I have started eating better, which I'm only on day like 4 of like eating better. Basically just overall taking care of myself. And so I think that over time, over the next, you know, year, I'm really, really hoping and thinking that 2020 is going to be an amazing year. For my family, for my marriage, for me personally, I think 2020 is just going to be great. The past 6 years, like I said, I've devoted to my kids and taking care of them. And so I'm really, really looking forward to 2020. I'm looking forward to the things that we do as a family. We have vacation in 5 months, and y'all, I've never been more excited in my life. So anyways, I am going to jump off here. Ainsley's sleeping, and so Kara and I are going to play some games together. I want you guys to leave me a comment down below and letting me know which one of these words you feel like is most important and which ones you feel like that you can incorporate into the new year. It is still the first week in January, and so don't feel like it's too late. You can change now, you can change in April, you can make some changes. Positive changes can be made all the time. So I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna finish my coffee and go hang out with my daughter. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.